Hello Aquarius, I'm going to try your reading again. I was starting out an really awesome reading and a train came through and it was so loud. I was yelling over it trying to talk to you because I had to have my window open because it's hot outside. And so I have to start over again, and I guess the messages just weren't for you. But they were about the Scorpio full moon happening on April 27th. It's a Tuesday, if that even matters. Anyway, that the Scorpio full moon in the sun sign of Taurus is all about coming into full alignment with who we are and how we balance out with the people around us, whether that's our relationships at work or our relationships with our family or relationships with our partner. There's a give and take in every connection that we have with other people. And sometimes we give more than we should, and then we realize later that it's just we're not being our true selves anymore. Also, there are times when we realize that we haven't really been living up to our full potential or who we want to be. So when we realize this, we're like, wait, it's time to get real about who we are. It's time to get straight about that, right? So let's see what cards want to come up. The Hierophant has been coming up a lot, and that's representative of Taurus. It's about the structure. You don't like that, do you? It's about the structure, the format, the tradition, the rules. So there are the rules, right? Here are the rules, says the Hierophant. You see him pointing up, and he said, God gave us these rules, but Aquarius is like, God gave you those rules? No, you gave me those rules. You know what I'm talking about. Now, this card came up in the reading that I gave you earlier. This exact card came up in the reading that I gave you earlier. So, let's say you're in connection with in an intimate connection with another person. And you're like, the rules are that I'm supposed to give a little bit and you're supposed to give a little bit. And so you give a little bit. You're like, okay, this isn't in full alignment with what my full desires are, but I'm going to give up just a little bit of that in order to be in connection with you. And the other person is like, okay, thank you. But they're not giving a little bit. And then you're like, well, maybe if I give a little bit more, they'll give a little bit more, because those are the rules. That's the way it's supposed to go when we're in a committed connection like this, right? And they're like, okay, thank you. And they take it and they don't give it. Wait, what? And next thing you know, it's just expected that that's who you are, because that's what you've always done, is that you've been the people pleaser. You're being the person that's does what you're supposed to do. And you're like, who am I? This is not who I am. This is not who I want to be. And whenever you lash out, when it comes out as a lash out, that's the thing. Whenever you speak up about who you really want to be and what's really meaningful to you, the other parties are like, why'd you turn so crazy? Why do you gotta be so crazy, right? And so then you're like, oh, I feel like I'm always being attacked for being my true self. Whenever I try to show the people I care about who I really am, I feel like they betray me and attack me. And so the only way you know how to really feel totally comfortable is to totally close off, is to not expose yourself at all. Now, this could be the relationships that you've had in the past and it's not happening now, but it's like your preset behavior. That's your knee-jerk reaction to becoming vulnerable with somebody else, is that you back away real quick because you don't want anybody to expect anything from you that's unreasonable, because you've had connections where you gave and gave and gave. Okay, so let's look at the advice that the tarot has for you when it comes to this kind of scenario where you're afraid to be your true self, or you just shut down so that you don't ever have to be vulnerable in a connection. Both ways are not good. We want to be authentic and respected, authentic and connected with others, right? We want to find people who love us for who we truly are, that we don't have to be betrayed when we're vulnerable with them. There it is. There's the Temperance, right? It's about finding balance in your own life, behaving in a way that is true and authentic to you. So that might mean not having friends for a little while, but Aquarius is kind of okay with that. if you don't have friends for a little while, and then you put yourself out there in the world in a way that's like, you don't have to be my friend, this is who I am, take it or leave it, and you let people be attracted to you as your authentic, full authentic self. Now that's not being afraid to be vulnerable. That is being fully vulnerable in yourself, even if it doesn't, like, who you are isn't following the status quo rules. Like, you're a person that likes to have multiple partners. You're a person that doesn't like to work a regular job. You're a person that doesn't wash your laundry regularly. Whatever that is not socially acceptable. Be that thing. Be who you truly are, and be okay with being alone. And then eventually you're going to be attracting the people. You're going to be attracting your tribe. You're going to be attracting the people who you can be your true authentic self with. But be cool with being alone until then. Okay. So this is where I got to leave off. Have a wonderful lunar cycle, Aquarius. I'm glad that I ended up getting a good reading out for you. And I'll see you later.